All right, we were talking yesterday about that great pop at the podium from Draymond after Game 5, right, where he said the Rockets basically, we don't think about them as much as they think about us, and it was awesome because it was Draymond. But, Chris, you've covered the Warriors up close all season. Do you think Golden State is at all more concerned about this series than they're letting on in public?
No,
You're like, no.
I can safely say they're not concerned, but I asked Draymond that question, try to get that response out of him.
That was a great answer.
And because I know how they feel. They want them just for the simple fact so they can just shut them up.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. That's it. And so it's not a concern. Yeah, I remember I said it a couple months ago when Rockets beat Golden State last game in the regular season when those two teams faced off. I went to Draymond, I went to KD, I said, look, man, Rockets may be able to give y'all some problems. And they basically cussed me out right there on the spot. It's like, don't believe in that regular season hype. So they're ready for this matchup, and I'm ready to see it.
I'm definitely ready to see it because this is why this team is constructed the way they are, to knock off the Golden State Warriors. I would love to see Houston do it. I have ties to the organization. However, if KD wasn't on this team, we had the old Warriors, I say, boy, they'll have a championship this year. But man, KD is just
everyone in the NBA is
just such a huge dynamic piece to this team, man. I mean, what he does for them, not only offensively, but defensively, he's playing better defense now. And the way he catches the ball in advantageous positions, I mean.
He's like you, how you were.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, look, when you look at, forget all the sort of narrative that's been built up over the last year. If you look at sort of just matchups in this series, who are the two best players on the Warriors?
Well, here's what I'll say about this series.
Who are the two best players on the Rockets? How would you match those up?
Here's
who's the third best player? How would you match Capella up?
This is what can't happen. You know how sometimes Steph gets a little too comfortable and get a little too careless with the ball. You can't do that with these guys. No. They will capitalize on these turnovers, get out and run. And if James has it going, CP has it going, and these shooters around him have it, hey, we're going to be in for a classic battle. I'm hoping everybody is on top of their game. I don't want nobody struggling, everybody on top of their game. James Harden beat MVP James Harden. Right? Yes. That's what I want to see.
Right. Chris Paul bring it the way he did in the last game the other night. But, okay, so you think turnovers, if there's an Achilles heel, could be turnovers.
It could be turnovers.
If there's an Achilles heel for the Warriors, what could it be?
Complacency.
Unless you think this series is also over in 4 or 5.
I actually do.
Okay.
I actually do. But complacency would be the only thing for the Warriors. But I don't see why that would be an issue right now.
Let's not skip that. You say you think it go what? 4 or 5?
T-Mac, let me go. I'm leaning towards 5.
Wow.
I'm leaning towards 5.
We're going to talk about this more in the show.
I'm leaning towards 5.
If they beat these boys in 4 or 5, they're more dominant than I'm giving them credit for.
Okay, well.
I mean, I think they know, though, that that's part of what's on the table. That's what interests me about this. Is that I think their attention is up. I think they have heard, not only, they've heard all season that people think they're vulnerable, but that's almost an old story, right? Because we've now had 2 rounds that show they are not vulnerable at all.
So here's the thing,
but I do
guys.
think that they want to show that they are such a dominant team. This is such a strong dynasty. There are no more challenges.
Right. So this is like, if that happens, because I'm looking at Houston and they're phenomenal. They've done everything they possibly could do to challenge these guys. And if they beat them in 4 or 5, there's nothing no one can do.
Man, what did you do when a player not of your caliber called you out during the court, try to question, try to go at you? What would you do?
Oh man, I'm gonna eat them up.
Oh, well,
And that indeed is what we may see.